Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode, I've got an axe that has really let me down. Actually, the axe handle has really let me down. If you can see down through there, it is not what it once was. It's become a completely useless tool at this point. Every time you go to strike the wood, it just wants to jerk out of your hands because the wood has gone back to its natural twist, which is somewhere around there. You know, the entire handle is twisted and then bent. It's just not good anymore. It's a shame too. I handled this axe on the channel probably a couple years ago, and this is one of my favorite axes. Keen Cutter, made in USA. Really nice, versatile, kind of do everything type of axe head. So we are going to rehandle it today. Welcome to Man Time. Keen Cutter, made in USA. Really nice axe head. Really kind of a smaller profile, a little bit thicker. You know, so it's basically a multi-purpose, you know, farm type axe, where it's suited to do a lot of different things. And you know, this handle was actually really good, and it was handled really good. It did come a little bit loose there. I didn't keep up on my oiling through the winter season one year, and come springtime it was loose. But yeah, this is actually my fault for picking out a handle that was going to twist like that. So I went to my local farm and ranch store, and I'm hoping I did a little bit better job this time around. I've got two American hickory handles, one made in the USA, one made in Mexico. I think I got one from Tractor Supply and one from my local farm and ranch store. But basically what you're looking for is a couple different things. A nice palm swell, of course, down at the bottom there. The profile, you know, of the axe, the amount of curve it has right there before the palm swell. And this one I tend to like a little bit better. And then also the grain orientation. Not only running, you know, lateral. As you can see, both of these the grain is running either, you know, pretty square with the palm swell or, you know, at a slight angle, but pretty close to being square, you know, with the width of the head here. Both of these actually have really good wedges on them, especially the Made in USA one. It's got a really nice wedge, but the Made in Mexico one also has a really nice wedge. And Made in USA one does not have a key to lock it in. Luckily, the one from Mexico has two, you know, so. But beyond that, you want to look for straight grain basically all the way down the handle. That was my downfall with that last one. You can see there the straightness of the grain runs front to back. And this one is slightly curved up here toward the top. It starts to kind of twist just a little bit. So I don't know. I'm actually liking this Made in Mexico one a little bit better. It just says American. I mean, there's no brand name on these things. They're just, you know, Tractor Supply brand or whatever. But this one here, it's a little bit thinner. And I can bring this back a little bit right here because it's a little too fat this way down here, and it would be really simple just to bring this back, you know, a half of an inch down and through here and have it, you know, a really nice grip on it. I like the feel of it. It's a heavier wood than the Made in USA one. This one is actually a lighter handle, and it's thicker through here. So, you know, I don't know if that means that this one is heartwood and this one is sapwood or what the deal is there, but you can see the two different handles. I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm going to think about it as we start to get as we start to get the handle off of this axe head. Let's get in here on the bench, and I'm going to lock this up in the vise, and we'll go to dismantling all of this stuff here to get it off. Alright, well, I've got an assortment of tools here on the bench. Got the axe, right here in the vise. Of course, we don't care about the handle anymore. But I've got a couple different punches and a couple different hammers. Some of these I've modified, from what was once like a flat edge to now it's got a little bit of a point on it. And this one makes a good tool for coming in here and basically just bashing through the wood and into the wedge we got here. Alright, so here's our first part of the task is getting this wedge out of there, and we are pretty well there at this point. There we go. So this is actually reusable, and I probably will reuse it. Next thing we're going to want to do is drill out the wedge, the wooden wedge that's in here, and then we can start to pick that out. Let's see what we got here. I got kind of my lesser set of drill bits here. That's still a really nice drill bit though. Alright, easy enough there, huh? And then we'll take this same kind of modified punch that I did here, and then just kind of start beating some of this out of there. And we should kind of be able to start just breaking it out of there. And that's why you want the engineer's hammer. Just basically bash through. We'll get it from both sides here. Yeah, it's actually moving in there now. There we go. And then we'll just kind of dig it out from both sides like that. So at this point, what we want to do is get the axe head secured by the vise jaws. You may have to kind of get creative here. You've got that big swell coming off of the head of the axe handle. Well, I figured I would try the easy way first, which is just going to be rest the axe head on the vise and then pound down on the handle. Of course, this is one of those swivel vices. Oh yeah. Alright, it's already going. So, what we can do is just take our... Probably need a real punch, or your old vise jaw from your broken vise, and start hammering out this old handle. There we go. Alright, got a clean axe head there. Beautiful. Yeah, that keen cutter. Man, this is a nice axe. So here again on these handles, kind of the differences I'm looking at. This is the pattern. I worked a long time, like getting this kind of the way I want it, but it came pretty much how I like it, right? It's skinnier down here, more round. This is basically just a round piece. Now this one is pretty round down here. I need to take it back, but I also need to thin it. This is just way too fat you know, for my hand down here. And then this one here is still too fat for my hand, but it's because it's really, you know, thick front to back, where this way it's pretty much about right. So I'm going to have less work into this handle here than I would this one. This one is going to take a lot of shaping, you know, to take down a lot of material to get it to where it's close to this one. Again, this one is pretty much exactly what I want in an axe handle. Nice swell, nice curve, thin profile, and basically round all the way through there. I worked a long time on this one, so that stinks. Yeah, this one is nice and square too. Oh boy, which one do you guys think I should use? This one or this one? This one's a little bit longer too, beefier. I think I'm going to go with this one. This axe head is a smaller axe head, you know, just over 3 pounds. This is an inch shorter axe handle, and it's going to be easier to make it to where it works well with this, even though it's a heavier handle for some reason than that one. They might be close to the same. But, all right, going with that one. All right, well, this part of the process is pretty much the messiest and most time-consuming part. And if you use like old tools to do it, it takes even longer. So I used to, you know, do the 4-in-1 and a little spoke shave and do it the old way. No more. I don't have that kind of time on my hands, especially on a day like today, where, you know, rain is just feels like it's minutes away. So what I do, I take one of these flapper discs, and by the way, if your flapper disc is kind of worn out, take it on a piece of concrete and just, you know, hit it on that concrete for a little bit. That cleans it out and gives you some fresh flap disc to work with there. But earplugs, and I like the hold your breath method. I've got my respirator. I'm just not gonna bring it out for this little amount of varnish that I'm about to take off of here. So hold your breath, kick it on, de-varnish, and then we can start working on this grip right here. Alright, well, one other consideration I forgot to mention on picking out your axe that's going to go well with your axe head is looking at the eye of the axe right in here and making sure that, you know, that's going to match up. So what you want to do is measure the length of it and make sure you pick out an axe with that length of eye. Now this one is about, I don't know, under a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/8, somewhere short up here at the tip, but then it fattens out and it should get a pretty good made up as we get down here toward the shoulder of it. But it is a really tight fit now. So there's going to be a lot of continued sanding to get this skinnied up a little bit, and we'll just start right now. Alright, so what you want to be looking for as you're going through this is just kind of line up, you know, the head of the axe with the handle and make sure those angles are good. Alright, I am getting really close to the final fit up, and you'll notice, basically I've only taken material from this area here, and that's from sliding that head on and off, and seeing where, you know, it's coming to rest on the handle, and it was, you know, light gap was nil right in through here, so I've just been taking that down, taking that down, taking that down, and I think we're about ready to start hitting it and getting it seated on there, because I am close. There's probably not much left to do here. So let's hammer it on there and see where it comes to rest down here. I think it's still a little tight in here. Yeah, probably still a little tight in here. I may touch it up just right here and right there on the other side just a touch to make sure that it's seating, you know, down back in here as well, because what you can have there is if it's starting to seat here, it's going to kind of kick that axe head forward as it comes to rest back here. Let's start seating it on here and kind of see where we end up. I've still got a lot of, you know, work to do down here, and then there'll be some, you know, hand work after that, but getting the axe head on there, you know, is basically step one. And you've got a lot of wiggle room right now. You can see we got a big reveal there. We've got wood starting to peel away down here, wood starting to peel away down here, and again, that is right where I was grinding. But you can see there the axe head is perfectly seated as far as, you know, flat here meets basically 90 degrees or perpendicular with the axe handle. Boy. Okay, it's starting to peel back here too. So we have got 3 sides of engagement with just some small gaps back in here. May have to take a little bit more. Let me hit it a couple more times. We can always bang it back off of there. Not hard. That is a good hard wood when it's bouncing like metal. Okay. Yeah, we're continuing to seat. Again, right here, wood is peeling. Right here, wood is peeling. And we're seating up back in here. I can still see some air gap on either side back here, though. Man, we're getting close, though. Getting real close. I do want the axe head to slide back a little bit on the axe head. So I think what I'm going to do is take a little bit more off of those 2 spots that I had been working on either side of the head, right down through here. So that way, the axe head can actually seat back a little bit. Yeah, and here's what we were fighting against, right? It's thick right in there. That's keeping that axe head from sliding back and having this portion of it, you know, really seat in there, or I'm sorry, sliding forward, right? So we want this to be forward, and then this sits down further. So, a little touch up there. Alright, still getting a really nice, yeah, we are pretty much there. It's wanting to kick back off. You can see there it came down and seated and then kicked off just a little bit. Because we're getting so much engagement all the way around there. Really nice. Okay, give it a nice hard whap here. Yeah, it's kind of kicking it off. Yeah, it's really seating well. I don't know why it's kicking off a little bit. we're still square here. We still got a little bit of time right now to change it if we're not perfectly square. And I think that is about as good as it gets. Yeah, I'm not seeing any type of unsquareness going on here. Looks really good. I just got to figure out why it's kicking off there a little bit. It's seating really hard on the butt of it here. Let me do a little bit more trimming. I mean, I really want this thing to be seated, you know, all the way up and down through there. So here's where, I mean, we had a nice seating pattern here, nice seating pattern here, but it was really digging in back here. So what I'm going to do is bring it down in the front here so this can fully seat against the front of it also. Okay, made some minor changes, thinning this down through here. Yeah, this should be it. This should be the final go around. You can see it's pretty well seated. There's just a little tiny gap here in the front. Hopefully that will be taken up as it falls down. Hopefully. Well, it felt solid, but it kicked off again. Yeah, it's hanging up in the back here is what's happening. It's got a full seat all the way around here. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's mainly this back part of it. I mean, it's just coming to a hard seat. Getting closer. Really don't want to rush it, right? Yeah, now we're getting really close. Okay, well, that got it. It is completely seated, like, all the way around here. And starting to peel that wood. Now's the perfect time to cut off this excess here and get a wedge in. Very nice. It's so funny how some of these videos can be, like, cyclical and predictable. As much as you try to mix it up, you find yourself doing the same things year after year, huh? Beautiful. Yeah, I used to go with kind of a big reveal like that. I don't do that anymore. This is some good looking grained wood. Should be a nice axe again. I am pretty sure that I forgot to hit record there. But what happened was I got glue inside of our new axe handle, wedge on there. I used this old jaw handle to distribute the weight and pounded that wedge in there, the double taper wedge right in there. It is pretty darn close here, and there's just some little kind of rough spots, and you know, that's where the 4-in-hand comes in pretty nice, especially for these kind of rounder areas here. Yeah, just a little. Yeah, this is really the spot right here where you want to spend most of your time perfecting, because this is where of course your hand is going to sit. Alright, a lot of hand sanding went into this, and even though I really took my time with that flapper wheel, you know, you can still see the imperfections there. But took it, wiped it down with a wet cloth, hit these areas, you know, right around the palm swell once again. Some of the fibers end up starting to pop through there. So, you know, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. But I've got my hand fitting perfectly on the swell, and yeah, it fits really nice. It's more of a round shape down here. Basically just took that flapper wheel and dug in, you know, directly perpendicular to the axe head angle there, and then rounded it over to get my perfect grip on there. But let's finish it off with some boiled linseed oil, and we'll just put a bunch on the rag here. Probably quite a bit too much. Yeah, but this is where we'll be able to see that shine. And again, I like these darker handles. I don't know if that denotes heartwood or what, but yeah, I like them. Look at how that comes alive. Yeah. Desperate for the boiled linseed oil. Very nice. I'll let that sit for a couple minutes and then wipe off the excess. Alright, man, that is going to do it for today on Man Time. The rain is starting to move in, but we've got it up to this point. I'm going to let this glue dry, snip that off, and then put my holding wedge in the top of it there. But man, that turned out really good. Got that wedge fully seated in there, handle completely sealed around that axe head. It looks really good. Hopefully this episode was helpful for you if you're trying to rehandle your axe and make it just deadly perfect square. And that is how you hang an axe. That boiled linseed oil really makes it pop, doesn't it? Wiped it off there and it's just perfect fit. Anyways, that's going to do it for today on Man Time. Get out there. Have you some man time too.